All right, hello everyone. We are going to get started. Thank you all for being here for our May leaders meeting. We are, as you remember from our other ones, we are recording tonight's meeting. So what will happen is we'll upload it to YouTube tomorrow, which will then get copied into an email to you guys and then as well posted on our website. Unlike other months, we are not doing a Thursday meeting because most of us will be in National Campaign School on Thursday, making sure we are trained or training our staff to be prepared to run camp for all of you guys this summer. So for tonight, as we have before, we are using the Q&A feature. So if you have any questions, please make sure you put them in the Q&A feature of Zoom. Once you're in the Q&A feature, you can upvote or downvote the other questions that other people are asking, just to make sure we see what is really important to all of you. And we will get through all those questions at the end. All right, to get started, I want to introduce everybody that will be on our Zoom tonight. Okay, so as you guys all, I hope, remember, my name is Tori Harris. I am proud to serve as the campaign director for Oso Lake and Lost Valley, and I will serve as the camp director this summer at Lost Valley. Next, I'm going to have Erin introduce herself.
Hello, everyone. I'm Erin Gillette. I'm the district director for Valencia District, and I will be serving as the program director for Lost Valley this summer.
And then Justin.
Hey everybody, I'm Justin Scott. I am the lead camp ranger for Orange County Council. So I am in charge of the facilities, all of Orange County Council's facilities, including Lost Valley Outdoor Education Center, Newport Sea Base, and Oso Lake. But I do live and mostly work at Lost Valley. So looking forward to getting people back into camp and to seeing all of you and your scouts this summer.
Hi everyone, my name is Bijan. I will be serving as the assistant camp director this summer at Lost Valley. This will be my 7th summer. Super excited for all of the things that get to happen at camp and to see all of you as we go forward. All right, I'm going to introduce the topics that we're going to talk about for tonight. At this meeting, we will be sharing a COVID-19 update with you regarding camps and camping. We will be talking about program, advancement, and adventure programs, campsite and facilities, a short update about the trading post, and then be answering any of your questions. Like Tori said, if you have a question during any of our sections, please put it in the Q&A box. If you put a question in the chat, it will get lost. We will not be able to answer it, and we get really confused that way. So please put them in Q&A. If there are questions that go in Q&A and you really like them, you can upvote them, and that'll put them higher on the list for us to answer. Once we answer them, we will type our responses to some of them, so you can see the response. If the question pertains to you, you'll be able to look at it later. At the end, we're going to answer all the Q&As, but if there are questions about the section we're asking, we're going to keep an eye on that too and try and answer those at the time. All right, we're going to get started with our first section.
Okay, so for our California COVID-19 update, you guys have seen a lot of this before. But just so you guys know the timeline and what we're working on, so we are currently in so we have received guidance. We received guidance on May 13th for resident overnight camps. So that becomes effective June 1st for our camp. Now, with everything that's come out from California, we believe and are continuing to focus on an open economy plan. So we believe that June 15th, we will be beyond the blueprint and we will be operating as usual. So what that means for us is, as I said, we are continuing with our open economy plan. We do anticipate that there will be some level of masking and COVID response. We are still waiting for details on that, but we do anticipate running camp as usual.
All right, so a couple of advancement program updates. So merit badge classes are open as of a day and a half ago, and some of them are already full. So we have classes running Monday through Thursday, and we are keeping an eye on what is filling up and where we might need to create some more classes. So if your scout didn't get into a class because it's full, you can take a picture of this QR code and let us know that, and we will make adjustments down the road, hopefully be able to accommodate everybody there. And mark your calendars, Saturday, June 19th at noon will be adult program signups. So those are all of the programs available to adults, like your service projects. I think swimming is on there, trainings, all of that opens up on June 19th at noon. And then also a change this year is for program fees for various merit badge classes and adult programs and evening programs. It's all going to go through Black Pug. So no more tickets, no more going to the trading post for your kits. You can pay for it online through the Black Pug website. And also blue cards, you're still welcome to bring the actual physical blue card, but they will also be available on Black Pug, so we can do that virtually. And June 19th is also going to open up the evening and afternoon programs. So that's the trail and meal, horseback rides, cowboy action, the STEM ice cream making, and various other afternoon and evening activities. And again, payment can be made for those through Blackbaud. So June 19th at noon for those. And they'll stay open through when you arrive at camp to sign up for that.
All right, campsites, you're home away from home for the week. What you're going to find in your campsite this year, there'll be picnic tables based on the capacity of your campsite. So if you are a larger troop, we will be doing what we can to have enough picnic tables in your campsite to fit your whole unit. Along with that, you will have a rake, a shovel, a broom on a stand in your campsite to be used in your campsite. Flagpole, so if you'd like to bring the American flag, troop flag, whatever flagpoles are in the campsites, and able to display whatever flag you'd like on them. There's water available in every single campsite, along with a hose. The hoses will be long enough to reach the fire ring, which at this point, we anticipate only using the fire rings for campsite cooking on Wednesday. We do not anticipate allowing wood campfires this summer, just with the current fire restrictions that are in place, and they will probably be getting stricter as we roll into the summer. There will also be bulletin board in your campsite with a camp map, schedule, your fire guard chart for the week, as well as any other information that is needed to be there for you and your troop for the entire week. Reminder, troops, everyone will be bringing their own tents for this summer. We will not be setting up camp tents this summer. However, we will be shifting around the platforms that are in all of the campsites to accommodate your unit tents. So there will be plenty of flat space in every campsite for your troops to set up tents. We'll also recommend that you bring easy ups for your campsites. As Michael mentioned in an earlier meeting, we've been undertaking a pretty big forestry project, and unfortunately have lost some mature trees that provide shade. There is still shade in campsites, just maybe not quite as much. So we do recommend that you bring easy ups to make your campsite more comfortable, as well as any pioneering poles to make gateways, campsite improvements for your campsite during the week and make it home for your troop. Go to the next slide, Bijan. Campsite assignments. We anticipate having assignments out June 26th. At this point, looking at our current registrations and the current campsites that we are planning to use, there may be a very limited amount of sharing of sites. We're right on the cusp of having one site per unit available. If there is a need to share, we'll have smaller units share to make sure that they all have plenty of room within the campsite. If you do have a campsite request, please send it to any of the email addresses on this slide: summercamp@ssrlv.org, toryh@ocbsa.org, or nicola.varela@scouting.org. We will do what we can to accommodate campsite requests. However, campsites will be assigned based on the number of people your unit is bringing to camp, so that we can comfortably fit you in a site that will house all of your participants for the week. Right, go ahead, Bijan. Facilities, in the Beyond the Blueprint plan, we are planning to have the dining hall operate as it would in a normal summer. Right now, with the number of people that are currently signed up for each week of camp, there will be plenty of room to eat inside. We are under the capacity of the dining hall. There will be space available outside in the shade in front of the dining hall for any units that would like to eat outside. There will be that opportunity. There's not enough room for everyone, but if your unit would like to eat outside, there will be some room, and you can express your wishes to the staff when you arrive, and we'll be assigning tables within the dining hall. And if you would like tables assigned outside, then we will do what we can to accommodate that. This summer, we are going to have a janitorial staff that will clean the bathrooms inside of Beckman Dining Hall, the shower houses, as well as check in on your restrooms in the campsites during the week. Troops will be responsible for cleaning up the tables that they are eating at during the week. We'll have all the cleaning supplies available. So bussing of your tables, taking care of your dishes, wiping the tables down to make sure we're not leaving food grime and things like that after we're done eating will be the responsibility of the troops. Right.
Justin, there was one question about tent platforms, asking what size they are, dimensions.
A majority of the tent platforms are roughly about 8 feet wide and about 7.5 feet deep. But they will be completely out of the way. And we do not recommend you trying to put a tent on those platforms or anything like that. It will actually be pretty uncomfortable. So like I said, there will be plenty of room for your troop tents. We're going to move all of the current platforms kind of out of the way to give you the best flat ground within the campsites to set up your tents. And the best news of all, we just finished grading the road into camp today through some generosity of one of our council board members. They loan us this wonderful machine every year to grade the road and an equipment operator. And then we actually have a former Lost Valley Ranger that lives close to camp, and he's also an equipment operator. So he came and spent some extra time. And we actually this afternoon just finished grading the road. So it should be a nice trip in for you guys this summer. I do want to remind everyone that the speed limit on the road is 15 miles an hour. And there is two-way traffic on the road. So we're going to try to reduce that a little bit this year, I believe, by assigning some check-in windows. So 15 miles an hour, there is two-way traffic. And then also, as you are coming up Chihuahua Valley Road, please be mindful of our neighbors on Chihuahua Valley Road and obey the speed limits out there as well. There are people who ride horses and things like that on the weekends, so we want to be courteous neighbors, and not to scare anybody, but I don't like getting phone calls from neighbors about people coming to our camp. So that does happen. So I think that's about it for me, unless there's any other questions.
All right, this is my section. So we will be having trading posts in camp just like normal. Scouts will be able to purchase any items that they want at the trading post. Our goal is to have the trading post open most of the day, every day. So we are working on organizing the hours for that, and we'll update you when we have a firm set of hours the trading post will be open. We are also going to have an online store. So for those of you that are not familiar, anytime we say trading post, we do mean camp store. If you're not familiar with the term, it may be confusing, but we're going to be having an online store available for you to purchase items ahead of time. We will send the information out once that is up and ready to go. If your scouts want to purchase things in camp, they're more than welcome to. We wanted to give you the opportunity to do this ahead of time for parents or leaders that wanted to take care of that ahead of time. To answer a question that was asked a little bit earlier, do the scouts have to pay for merit badge classes? There are some merit badge classes that have additional fees attached to them, mostly for program materials. So welding is one of those classes that has additional materials that's required, and you will need to pay for that one. Shooting sports is another one. The list of merit badges can be found on the website, ssrlv.org. If you go under Open Economy, you will find the PDF that has all the classes with their sessions, and the classes that have additional fees are listed in that section as well. If you have other questions about things that I just said, you can put them in the Q&A.
All right, topics for the next meeting. So we are going to do, every meeting we'll do another COVID update and review. We will go over another program review. June 20th and June 24th are our last meetings before summer camp. So we do want our SPLs and all summer camp leaders coming to those meetings just so we can answer any questions. And one of those topics we will be covering in that meeting is the SPL's role in camp. And so kind of preparing them for what to expect while they're in camp. We do have SPL meetings throughout the week that we want them to attend so that we are getting feedback from the SPLs as well as they are taking leadership within the camp as well. And then as always, we will be doing a Q&A section for that last meeting. So we are going to jump into Q&A now. So if you have not already, please post your questions in the Q&A tab. The four of us will look through questions and answer them. And if you see the other questions that you really want to be answered, please upvote them and we will get them answered. So I'm going to jump on the first one. Where can I see a list of all afternoon and evening programs and their schedule? It should be on the website. If it is not, I'm going to make a note right now to make sure that it goes up on the website tomorrow. If it's not on the website, it's probably in the leader's guide as well. So let me make a note of that and we'll get that covered for you, Mr. Kramer. Okay, so we have a couple questions on scout sharing tents. So that is a tricky question, but with the June 15th open economy model and operation as usual, we do anticipate that they could share tents. We are still waiting on final guidance for that. But right now, if we are in operation as usual, they could share tents. We will still make sure the campsites can accommodate single tents just to make sure that troops are comfortable with where they are staying. Bijan is going through so many questions and answering them. We had a couple questions on adult programming that I wanted to talk about. So adult programming, we have training opportunities, as well as there are some adventure-based stuff. We did get a question about them joining the Borrego program. The Borrego program is specific to youth, but they will have opportunities to do swimming, go hiking, go on the zip line, and participate in activities like that. And I'm gonna go back, Mr. Peter, I'm gonna go back to 2021 Advancement Program. I assume you're looking for the one with the QR code. So I'm gonna put that out there right now. All right, and Mr. Hogan, the QR code leads you to that Google form, as well as we will send it out in an email as well. All right. Oh, before that one, I'm sorry, I'm gonna go back one more. Nope, maybe it was that one. So, do you have the themed assemblies determined yet? So we have one that we are finalizing with the staff, and then we will send those out to you guys. We do want everyone to participate in our themed assemblies. For those that don't know, every morning we do themed assemblies at Lost Valley, just as a fun way to wake up. One of them that we do on Mondays is More Sleep Monday. So that is our PJ day or pajama day. And then one of my favorite ones is Wacky Tacky Wednesday on Wednesdays. So once we have all those finalized, we will send those out to the troops because we do want you all to participate. All right. Question on Wednesday meals. So for Wednesday meals, troops will cook for themselves. Can ice be provided by Lost Valley? Yes, we will have Lost Valley, or not Lost Valley. We will have ice out of the trading post for troops to get. And just to go over that for anybody that wasn't on our last meeting on Wednesday, troops will be cooking breakfast, lunch, and dinner in their campsites. We will provide the food supplies. You guys will need to bring a patrol box for the morning cooking. The lunch is a sandwich lunch, and then in the evening it'll be the golden or silver turtle packs. Okay, we have a question on the merit badge list. So can you explain how to read the merit badge list, please? ABCD verse 1, 2, 3, 4. So ABCD is just so that you guys knew that there was 3 options for it. So the black means there's not a class happening during that session at all. But if you saw ABC or ABCD, then you knew that, okay, session 1 is A, session 1 out of 3 is ABC. That's just a way to organize it so that there wasn't a bunch of blank squares. That's how the Black Pug system prints it. So I apologize that that was confusing. Before the QR code, maybe 1 or 2. So I think we had, maybe Peter, we're talking about this one. For food on Wednesday, it'll be before each meal time. So we will not give you all the food at once. You'll get it before each meal. Blackpug is scoutingevent.com. I apologize. Blackpug is scoutingevent.com. Do we have the option to use the tent platforms for 4 to 6 tents on the downhill side?
Justin's gonna answer.
Okay,
I'll
Justin.
just jump in if I got that one. If there's a specific site you have a question about, you can type that in there. I don't know if that's going to be Meadowview campsite. That site actually does not have the typical tent platforms. That one has the newer style tents. So there are not those platforms in that campsite actually.
All right, this meeting is flying by. Is there a list of adult activities, patrol activities? So we should have that up on the website. I'm gonna check once we're done with this meeting. If it is not, then I will work with Nikki to make sure it goes online tomorrow. The Mayor Badge list did not have the fees. I used last year's as a guide. There should be under, so if you go to ssrlv.org, and then click summer camp and then click open economy program, the merit badge list that is PDF there should have it. All right. How many troops are attending in the first week of summer camp? We have, I don't have all the numbers in front of me, but we do have, I want to say 14 or 15.
Yeah, I think it's 14 or 15 week one. That's about the average for every week.
Yep.
Around 15. Some think actually week 3 or 4, maybe 16 or 17. But yeah, an average of about 15 troops per week.
Will the adults be allowed to go on trails with the scouts for afternoon activities? Yes, as long as we are following youth protection, yes. Question on what are the times of the day for session 1, 2, 3, and 4? So we have session 1 is from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Session 2 is from 10:30 to 11:30 a.m. Session 3 is from 1:30 to 2:30 p.m. and session 4 is from 3 to 4 p.m. I believe Bijan is also typing that answer out as well. Yes, the 2021 Leaders Guide is up on the website. It should be found under Leaders Guide. If you go to Leaders link. Can our basic bike tools maintenance available at camp, or should troops bring their own spare tubes? We do have spare tubes, and we often will have the bike layer open. If you have anybody in your troop that is really good with bikes, and they know how to help too, that would be great. But we will have the bike layer open and the tools available as well.
On that note with the bikes though, if you have specific sizes of tubes or something for kids in your troop, then you may want to bring them. We may not have every size available in camp. So having some of your own stuff is recommended to take care of your troops' bikes.
Okay.
Oh, I'll mute that.
All right. So just another comment on bikes. so we have a lot of dirt roads at camp. I would say it is all dirt roads at camp. And so make sure that your youth and adults are bringing bikes that can handle that. I love my beach cruiser, but it would not do well at Lost Valley. So please keep that in mind for when you are bringing bikes. How do most troops transport bikes? They usually bring them up in a trailer. Is there any guidance on carpooling? So in the blueprint model for carpooling, you can carpool while wearing masks with the participants that are within the same cohort. So say, that's a different word that we haven't used in a while. So if they're all in the same group, they can stay together. We anticipate for after June 15th that rule will no longer apply, and so carpooling will apply as normal. Typically, scouts bring anywhere from $60 to $75 in the trading post, depending on their activities they're doing and souvenirs and snacks they want to buy. Any other questions? All right, so we have a question on Black Pug activity supplies. Yes, so if you are using Black Pug to pay for the class, then the area will have those supplies ready. So this is especially for like handicraft. If you are doing the basketry merit badge, the round basket and the square basket and the seat basket are already going to be at the handicraft area, instead of going all the way to the trading post and then coming all the way back with supplies. So all those supplies will already be at the trading post. Yes, they are on hold for them in the class. So if they registered for the class, then they are good to go.
I'll answer the lake question real quick. Unfortunately, this year, due to the severe lack of rainfall that we've had in Southern California, there is not much of a lake at all. Our dock is not even floating right now, unfortunately. So there will not be an opportunity for any boating activities this summer.
So we have a question on trying to add more participants, but it will not let me. So Black Pug, right now we have, we are not taking any more troop reservations for 3 out of the 4 weeks. And so with that, adding more scouts, we can do that. We just need to have Nikki do it for us. So if you email nicola.varela@scouting.org, she can add that participant to your unit. Randy, we have a question on flag ceremony. So that is something we are going to be discussing with the SPLs at the June meeting. We would like troops to sign up and perform the flag ceremonies. And so we will be discussing that with the SPLs, because that's a great opportunity for leadership for them to own. Jane, I see your question. We're going to look into that one. We don't offer woodworking, so we're going to look at that one. The leader's guide that should say it is a recommended for 13+ for welding. It is not a requirement. It is just for mature scouts and those that can use the tools within them and have the strength to do so. We have a question. Justin, do you want to take the question from Janice?
Yes. So unfortunately, we are not anticipating being able to allow campfires this summer. There's already started to be some restrictions on that throughout Southern California from different fire agencies. And with the drought and dry conditions already, the only thing that we anticipate being able to do is charcoal cooking on Wednesdays in the campsite and no wood fires. And for charcoal in the campsites, we will be providing the charcoal for all the units for Wednesday night dinner. And just a reminder that any type of lighter fluid or anything like that is not allowed. So we will be providing decent charcoal for you guys to cook on Wednesdays.
Okay, we have a question. If Scott's changed their mind about classes they want once they're at camp, is it possible to get a refund for the fees applicable? Yes, we will say when they change their mind, we'll just need to make sure that we put them in a class that is open, and if there's a fee associated with that, we can change the fees around and make that, but we can handle that in the training post. Question from Ken, can we also add additional adult leaders? Yes, that is once again emailing Nikki. She is our best friend for summer camp and always, and will help you with all your registration needs. Kim, yes, the 2019 schedule is the same for 2021 in the open economy model. We're good to go on that one. Justin, do you want to answer the questions about propane fire tanks and propane tanks?
Yeah, so propane fire pits are fine. We would recommend, however, that you do put them in the fire rings that are provided in the campsites. That way, these are all concrete fire rings that are in the campsites, and that way it kind of contains that unit and makes it as safe as possible. So propane firing is not much different than a camp stove, so those are okay, as long as, of course, they're under adult supervision.
Great, we have a question about camp stoves. Yes, you may bring a camp stove and use it to make coffee. Question on merit badge classes. Those classes run Mondays through Thursdays. The Friday morning open session or makeup session is just in case a scout needs some extra time qualifying on the archery range or working on their wood carving project because they didn't finish it. Maybe they needed to do their environmental science endangered species 100-word paragraph, and so they need to go turn it in Friday morning. So that time is just to make sure that if we have any scouts that need a little extra help, they have that Friday morning to work on those merit badges. And then Friday afternoon, we go into camp games and the staff-wide games, or the camp-wide games with the staff.
So the internet access, so there are various buildings throughout camp that have Wi-Fi available. That includes the dining hall, training post, the stables, and then our office. I anticipate, well, the networks will all be passworded for the summer, and we are working on, like in 2018, if you were here, giving each leader a unique password that will be good for 2 devices for the week that you are here. That allows us to limit the traffic on the network and to make sure that the youth are getting the most out of their merit badge classes and are not on Wi-Fi when they should be doing other things. And then they will be able to go to their leaders if there's any type of communication needed with parents. There is no cell phone signal in Lost Valley. However, most phones have Wi-Fi calling features. So go into your phone, make sure that your Wi-Fi calling is turned on, and you're able to make regular phone calls, text messages, anything like that. One of the best ways that we communicate at Lost Valley is through Facebook Messenger, video chats, or texting through Facebook Messenger. Depending on who your phone carrier is, you may have issues with Wi-Fi. There are times where text messages or voicemails will not come through until you actually have cell phone service. But as long as you are there on the Wi-Fi, and if you're expecting an answer back on something, a text message, then stay on the Wi-Fi for a little bit, and those messages should come through.
Okay, so it looks like, oh, no, just kidding. I have 5 adult leaders coming. Would it be possible to have each of them, one, have a device?
Yeah, so each leader will be provided a password, and that password is good for 2 devices for each leader. So a cell phone and a laptop, something along those lines. So if you need to check in with work or anything like that, then you're able to do that. If you need to spend a little bit of time in the dining hall and plug in a device, make sure it's charged up, then that's available as well. Portable radios, as long as they are the small handheld ones that you can buy, just about anywhere, Walmart or whatever, those are fine. Camp does have our own radio frequencies and a license for radio frequencies that we use to communicate throughout the staff and emergency personnel if needed. Most campsites do not have power. We have one campsite that is ADA accessible that does have power. So if you have a device that you need power, whether it's a CPAP machine or something along those lines, you can email any of those email addresses provided earlier and make a request, and we'll do what we can to accommodate those requests. Otherwise, the dining hall is a great place to charge any devices, or even around the trading post, there should be some available power.
Okay, we are nearing the end. We currently do not have any questions in our Q&A box. So if you do have a question, please go ahead and put it in there. We are happy to answer them. And if you don't have any questions, we are going to, I'm going to go to the next tab and see that you guys can register for one of the June meetings. So these are the QR codes like we've done before that you can register for the next meeting. And remember, this is for SPLs as well as all adult leaders coming to camp. We want to answer as many questions as we can and make sure everybody feels prepared to come to Lost Valley this summer, because we are so excited to have you guys and so excited to be running camp again. And we want to make sure that we answer all the questions and get out any jitters or anything else before everybody gets to camp, and make sure everybody's ready. Have a great time. All right, my friends, we don't have any more questions. So thank you all for joining us for our May meeting. We will be uploading this video to YouTube tomorrow, and I will send a link via BlackPug to everyone to make sure that you guys can all view this, as well as make sure that the adventure programming is up on the website, which was a question from tonight. So we'll make sure that gets up. We have one last question. Are you still accepting camperships? Yes, we are. You can get the campership form on our website. Thank you all for attending, and we will see you guys next time.